rationale. Flip the script as I go. In control, listen close. There's a read to read. What you say and what you mean. It's obscene. You'll just ignore me when I warn you. Cut off your nose, just bite your face. You can't help that you're a lying breed. Chaos reigns, make it fair. Show your veins, tuck your tail, run away. When all that's good is good. Try to bust the wheels, be real, it'll happen anyway. When your world is turning inside out, what do you think you're gonna do? Follow a dead-end road while I expose the truth. I'm no savage, you're just average. I know that the truth's a lot to ask. I'm gonna rip off that mask. Monkey see, monkey do. Come on, monkey, break your mask, control the real you. Disruption, modern and corruption. Come on, monkey, break your mask, see the real you. When you're forced to adapt, don't thank me. You're the ones who escalate things.
Bravo! Now I just want to crush them. That's much harder.
This is not a game, say my name, it'll happen anyway. When your world is turning inside out, what do you think you're gonna do? Follow a dead-end road while I expose the truth. I'm no savage, you're just average. I know that the truth's a lot to ask. I'm gonna rip off that mask. It's turning inside out. What do you think you're gonna do? Follow a dead-end road while I expose the truth. I'm no savage, you're just average. I know that the truth's a lot to ask. I'm gonna rip off that mask.
プライベートな空間が欲しいな。プログラム起動。訪問者確認。ドクター。おはよう。
私に任せてくれ、ドクター。私に任せてくれ、ドクター。
勝手に散らばるなよ。ずいぶん足元を気にしてるのね。
たまには上を見てみた。
エクシア、援護を。一歩も引かない。始めよう。陰謀を実現させた者が北総 M のに君は気づいていない。了解した。黙っていろ。たがこうが抗おうが無駄だ。ターゲット確認。すぐに終わらせる。
聞いてるけど。
戦場って本
恐怖が隠せない。
泣かないですぐに終わるからね。絶好のチャンスだ。
命令を。陰謀を実現させた者が北総 M のに君は気づいていない。黙っていろ。
どれくらいの時間で片付ければいい？
生命は私の庭からとっとと出ていけ。
はいはい、焦らなくていいわよ。全員分あるから。
ドクター、あなたたちの信念
恐怖が隠せない。
ようやく私の出番か。
ここでは何も起きていない。さっさと片付ければ楽に終わる。君たちの命は私が守る。
レンズ、ようやく私の出番か。
何を片付ければいい？さっさと片付ければ。
決断を私の庭からとっとと出ていけ。
たがこうが抗おうが無駄だ。
まだ考えずその武器で名乗りを上げなさい。
この程度か。指示を待つ。ようやく私の出番か。
ターゲット確認。すぐに終わらせる。指定の位置に。
安心してあなたたちの信念も尊ぶべきものよ。
白露に鉱山で埋め、十分に平気。
お前たちの命に火種をまいた。
まだ考えてここでは感情に意味なんてない。
ついてないわね。今日の貧乏くじはあんたよ。ターゲット確認。すぐに終わらせる。指定の位置に向かう。はいはい、焦らなくていいわよ。全員分あるから。
私の意見が欲しいの？まだ考え、信念がそのほとんど。
あなたたちのことは誰一人忘れないわ。
ついてないわね。今日の貧乏くじはあんた。私を探るんだ。
あなたを土に植える。生まれ変わりなさい。準備が整った。私はただ人々の生きる権利を守ってあげたかっただけ。ビクトリア人であるかどうか、感染者であるかどうかは関係ない。
私が隊長をやるのに不満な奴がいる？そんなのあんたが。
Come down, W.
その様子、もう大まかな計画はあるみたいね。
Red.
ここに立つのが私の使命。バッタを。命令を。子供たちの悲鳴が聞こえる。
聞いてるけど。
命令を。黙っていろ。
絶好のチャンスだ。
Oh, the damage. Holy shit.
決断を私の庭からとっとと出ていけ。
Alright. That's not scary at all.
任務概要なんてただの紙くずよ。
子供たちの悲鳴が聞こえる。指示を待つ。君たちの命は私が守る。了解した。縛られるつもりはない。身を焦がす苦しみはほんの一瞬。これで静かになってくれる。
はいはい、焦らなくていいわよ。全員分あるから。
死が崩れていくのを感じる。
ドクター頼いですぐに終わるからね。
了解した。
頼みを先に沈黙を破った臆病者。
抗うが抗おうが無駄だ。エクシア、援護を。誰を餌にするか。
あなたたちのことは誰一人。
私が頼りにだ。
はいはい。
誰かが気づく前にあなたの地帯を影に沈めた。
その武器で名乗りを上げなさい。
ようやく私の出番。さっさと片付ければ楽になる。問題ない。
Okay, is that enough stamina burnt? Best term. I wanna read now. Fuck that. No. Alright, well that's a start. Another meeting is a beautiful ending, yeah. A lot of stories end suddenly, a lot of stories keep us tossing and turning in our beds, and some stories end with a long sigh. No wilderness without end, people meet and go their separate ways, but at the crucial moment when we cross paths, no one knows if we should really be saying such solemn goodbyes. Alright. Come in. Theresa, you're back. Amia? What's the matter? Look what time it is. You should be in bed. You don't want to get Kelsey getting angry with you. No, but I can't sleep. I'm to sleep with you? It's okay if you still have work to do. You've been waiting for me all day, haven't you? Something happened? Nope, everyone's been very nice to me, and I'm keeping up with my homework too. I finished all the assignments Dr. Cosset gave. I know you've been really busy, and I shouldn't bother you, but I don't know why I really want to see you today. Holy shit, you're adorable. Is that right? Come on, Mia, I'm here. I'm here for you now. Alright. I saw you standing here waiting by yourself while everybody else was gone. For so long. I still remember the look on your face. I don't get it. Are you worried about something? Isn't everyone saying we're about to win? What is this? Yes, there's always good news. Our fighters captured another town. We advanced our positions once more. Gazel, our home, is closer than ever. But Yeah, Babel still has a very long journey ahead of us. Our goal is so far away. I don't actually even know if we're still sailing toward our original destination. Teresa lets out a brief sigh and looks into the distance. Amaya follows Teresa's gaze but finds nothing. Babel does not exist to win victories. It never has. Victories and scars go hand in hand, and those scars are far more difficult than we have ever anticipated to heal. Or rather, can they be even healed? Good point. Teresa's voice is very soft, almost like a dream melted away in water. As a cloud of mist rises, the momentary smile that she had before, now it seems distant and hazy. The young cottage girl thinks that for a moment or two, the woman holding her hand all this time almost seemed to have disappeared into the mist herself. And so Amaya makes the effort to stand on her tiptoes and stretches her hand out. The young girl's soft fingertips touch the forehead between the eyes of the King of Sarka as she tries to smoosh those knitted brows. They can. They will. Teresa, I still remember what you told me. Perhaps one day we'll be able to let everyone on this vast throne have peaceful slumber. That's a certain way to use that line. Jesus. Right, that includes you and me. Go on, man. We have lots of time to talk about the future. But if you stay up all night, you won't be getting any taller. What are you going to do if you're still a teeny tiny bean by the time Rhode Island is probably sailing across the vast lands? Cute. If I point my ears up, I look taller, won't I? You really don't want to go back to your room, don't you? Not being naughty, I'm just... Alright, let's not tell Calcid then. You can stay a little longer. It's been a while since I told you a story, hasn't it? It's okay. I still remember all the stories you told me. A long time ago, there was a great big desert and a tiny little doll made of sackcloth. The little puppet swore she would cross the desert to find the legendary Plains of Hope. But you've never told me how the story ends. Oh, that one, huh? There were a lot of scary things out there in the desert. If I were to tell you, you'd never sleep again. Teresa? Not as scared of them. Besides, with you telling the story, I'm sure I'll have a nice evening. Alright, the desert was so vast and wide, like there was no end to it. Our little puppet had been through many great adventures, and at last he made it. His goal was right in front of him. Plains of Hope. What were the plains like? Kind of place that anyone would like to go home. Kind of all the carrot pies I could eat. But everybody on the land ship there too. Maybe. But things are never that easy in the stories. He still had to overcome the last obstacle that stood in his way. The desert was very cold. The wind there never stopped, and in the light of the twin moons there seemed to be some black cloaked shadows whispering to themselves, but the moment he looked for them, they disappeared. Oh, is this Kaganen? Please, actually. What were the black cloaked shadows? They were the echoes of the oldest despair and sadness. If they catch you, you'll never escape them. Oh, never mind the demons. The shadows whispered among themselves and laid a trap after a trap to stop the puppet. The black cloaked shadows didn't want to let the puppet make it any further. They did everything they could to try to get him to turn around. Because if the puppet made it through the desert, hope would start to spread their way, and they would disappear. But the puppet didn't know that. His goal never once changed. The puppet made it past their traps and foiled their plans. The tricks they had up their sleeves had failed. They were furious, and they decided they weren't going to hide anymore. They were going to duke it out with the puppet and fight him to the death. Okay, this is different. It's not about that. When he saw the shadows rushing towards him, the puppet took out a long spear made of needle and some threads. Then he... Teresa, why did they become the echoes of despair and sadness? How about that? Did they catch homeopathy, and the pain kept them up night? And maybe the puppet could cure them, just like what you and the Tricastle want to do. Cure them. If the puppet cured them and turned them into happy and peaceful shadows, then everybody could go to the place of hope together, right? You are a really smart kid, Jesus. Were they born baddies who like to scare people? No, dear, of course not. The puppet found out that they all had wounds on their bodies. It was the wounds that turned them into who they are now. Ah, okay. Well, I know who this is. Couldn't he fix them up with a needle and thread, just like we always do? Maybe. Perhaps it's worth a try. Sleepy? No, I'm not. Did he do it? The puppet tried over and over, and stitches were thick and ugly. The black cloak shadows were livid. What happened next? Maybe peace and happiness won't really come so easily, but in the end, they decided to let the puppet go. The black cloak shadows watched the puppet walk into the distance. He had to let the puppet give it a shot, but a big river stood before him. He didn't even know how wide it was. All he knew was that he couldn't see the other side of the river. I see. I was really hoping this was Foy and Hotland's lore, but nope, it's just Teresa lore. He knew that a place of hope on the other side, but there weren't any boats nearby. There wasn't even a decently sized front. Front? The fuck's front? What do I do now? What is a front? Are there anything? Because I'm Nanny. I mean, he's in a desert, so okay. I guess an oasis. Also, I guess there is water, so okay. There must be plants. What do I do now? The puppet thought to himself. He decided to see if he could swim across. But he's a cloth puppet. Right, he was made of cloth. If he got wet, he would only get heavier and heavier, until he sank to the bottom of the river. But if he stopped here, his journey would have been for nothing. He leapt into the water and found that the river was cold and salty, like tears. Apparently, a lot of people across the land wanted to go to those plains, but not one of them succeeded. It was their tears that formed this river. The puppet finally understood just how many people shed tears over this. The puppet swam and swam. He felt his body slowly soaking in the tears. Did the other side of the river really exist? Perhaps the shadows were right. It was called the Plains of Hope because no one could truly make it there. People speak different languages and their hearts are not connected. Home. But a river meant that there must also be a source to return to. Sleep sound like a Amia. Good night. Amia has no idea how she got back to her room that night. She slept very soundly. Did the puppet make it across the shore? What happened in the end? A ravine suddenly appeared. Just like that, the two sides have lost contact. Ah, Doctor, when did you get back? Is everyone waiting for me? I'm sorry, I'll just need a minute. For once, you're actually asking for a break. Good shit, Amaya. It's okay, Doctor. I'm all ready. Let's head over there together. We're about ready for departure. Every one of us has to leave Brentwood. Good thing these bones are large enough to us all to fit in. The military commission must already have caught wind of taking control of the town on lifeboat. It goes without saying that the skeleton is of tremendous importance. The counteroffensive might already be on the way. Perhaps the Sarkas are watching our every move as we speak. Ever since the rapid tactical unit, the Witchling, took to the skies, it's always felt like somebody's been watching us in the mist. It's unnerving. Witchling, Witchling, Witchling. I don't know if we're talking about the Lich or Confessarius. I forgot, fuck. The battle will only get more dangerous from here on out. We all know that. The Exemplars will not give up their counteroffensive on Londinium if we have no other choice. The victorious people have endured this long enough already. Good thing we seized the skeleton. Under ideal conditions it will serve as a temporary stronghold. The wounded and civilians will also get to settle down a little. Besides, if what Hoarder said is true, it can teleport anywhere, although it might make the users nauseous. This is indeed some much appreciated help, but something is bothering me. Why would the Remote Commission defend such an important transport to the death? Perhaps they gave it up because of the pressure of the battlefield, or perhaps Duke Rael, the Sanguine Ark, underestimated his enemies. This is true. More likely their plan on the humans already reached a stage where they can't afford to worry about anything happening outside. The Sanguine Arch still completed his final ritual. That may act exactly why they turned their gaze not to the Lifebond but somewhere else. Holderer has finished negotiating with the consciousness left in the skeleton. It will, yes, listen to our proposal. With its help, we will be able to return to the battlefield at any moment. I wonder when we will get Sanguine Arc back. Most importantly, it gave us an opportunity to get close to the airship and the short. If we make use of this trump card well, just maybe we'll be able to mount an airborne assault in central Londinium. The area around the shore is heavily guarded, and my guess is that the military commission's airship won't let us hover over their heads without a fight. All we can do is find an opening for our strike teams to enter, and as soon as they've made it in, we'll have the lifebound depart. That means the strike team can't retreat. But at the same time, we still have to get to the bottom of what's been bothering Amiya. What exactly are the Sarkas plotting? And how to foil their little tricks. We're gonna be able to take the shard with this little time by ourselves, but we still have friends inside the massive city. We need to get in touch with them. According to our intelligence, there likely aren't many combatants stationed inside the shard. Based on my experience fighting their commander, if Theris is Amiya, what do you say our chances are? Theris is fucking amazing. No, we should avoid a direct confrontation with him at all costs. No one is strong enough to single-handedly defeat Theris. You're saying that with Ascalon? Not surprising. Besides, our greatest threat right now is not a single powerful Sarkas hero. Oh, sorry, Theris, not Manfred. Okay, never mind, that's correct. Besides, our greatest threat right now is not a single powerful Sarkas hero, rather it is their mission to see their plans come to fruition. We will only be able to end this war quickly by stopping it from happening. Few squads on their own can end a war, we still need a Victorian military. It's true, the Duke of Windermere, perishing on the front lines is beyond what any of us might have. The mother? Oh. Forgive me, lady little fiend. Standing beside you now is an intelligence officer and the servants of Duke Windermere, not her daughter. I mean, no man. Duke of Windermere's untimely passing has disrupted the fragile balance on the outskirts of London. They are on the brink of war. Until a few weeks ago, I was still under the impression that if the Dukes were to put their minds to it and attack Londinium together, a Sarkas defeat would have been all but assured. This will be a decisive battle, one far worse than what any of the bigwigs have been anticipating. I'd like to say they wish this upon themselves, but it's the frontline soldiers and innocent citizens who are suffering right now. So when the times come, who's going to win? Us, the exemplars, or the dukes? Sorry, I guess shouldn't be asking that before an operation. It's fine, I know it is you're worried about. But there's no need to worry. A great many people stood up, raised their heads, and woke from their dreams because of the calamity, whether willingly or forced. You are far from the only ones. We need to focus on the problem at hand. How to break through the battlefield for our Lindigium counteroffensive, as well as how to stop the shard strikes. Receive a transmission indicating we have several Rhode Island support teams on the way. There are many things we will only be able to accomplish here as Rhode Islands. I will command the operation. This is bad. These decisive lines are like the lines used in fucking Babel event. And put this guys behind us. It seems none of us have any objections, that being the case. Everyone turns to Amaya. Suddenly, you feel a hint of relief, gratification, excitement, and pride. After all, you are standing right beside her. This war has come to a head, and Theresis intends to use some more decisive and forceful means to tear Victoria to shreds. I just realized, why is Feist here instead of Clovicia? I don't mind the stainless, but isn't Clovicia your commander? This war has come to a head, and Theresis intends to use some more decisive, forceful means to tear Victoria to shreds. This has nothing to do with whether the Sarkas truly have a right to revenge. It has nothing to do with whether the nobles may bear the heavy burden for Victoria. If we solve all our problems by destroying our enemies, then this land, plagued by war from the beginning, has no hope. The Confessiari and Theresis are there at the heart of Londinium, toppling this empire standing on a shaky ground. I will go to them and I will stop them. For that future and for the future of all. People are probably gonna hate me, but I prefer this costume over Wizardal costume. But it is not the first time we get a specific story costume. Is it a big gap like this a waste? I got some real juice explosive from Closure, enough to pack every corner of this place full. And they're still cooking up stupid ideas like mounting an attack on Londinium. This is military commissions we're talking about. Who knows what tricksters has got up his sleeve? So, bomb the place straight up. Why do you think the military commission went through all that trouble to hide this skeleton instead of treating it as a second airship? This thing is fragile. It's only thanks to the witchcraft device that we can communicate with the Phantom with lingering breath of life. An attack, no matter how weak, could spell the end of it. Smart. You think I'm talking about the dropping bomb out of it? I'm saying let's make it the bomb. A bomb that can fly about just anywhere at once, that can fly right into Theresis' face at any moment. The perfect bomb. What, you're still thinking about letting it take us back to Gaza? If we don't have a deal with Theresis, we aren't going anywhere. If we don't deal, sorry. Why are you nostalgic in Kazdel, Ines? Let's take the simplest path to solving our problems here. Well, I guess you did the work in Gazel for a while. Got something to share with class? Nothing at all, but I didn't expect to see you so tense. Could I teach a few deep breathing techniques? Huh? Whatever, W. You're in the right frame of mind for this operation, otherwise no amount of explosives is going to fix what's going on in your head. That just means we're gonna need even more bombs. There's sister. Ines, what? Remember when we ran into that lich the other day? Never... Woman? You're wondering whether the Teresa out there is real or not again, aren't you? Enough of that already. I'm not the one you need to convince. I wasn't the one who called her a fake first either. Did I ever tell you that your art are disgusting? I didn't need to read your shadow. You've been pretty anxious for a while now. What will you do if you run into her again? I told you it's fake. I'm gonna kill it and be done with this. I know if it's not, then I'll let you and get to the bottom of everything. That's Teresa. I know. I think you don't. You haven't figured out how to treat Teresa, how to handle an enemy leader. It's a taboo, and you know it's far better than I do. What? Ines, you know what pissed me off the most? I remember a lot of stuff. I remember the crystal on the head of the old fart who taught me how to make explosives. I remember the prices on your heads. I remember how Her Highness wrestled with that door and... What? This door joke has been going on for so long now. I forgot the fucking... You know, Catherine once got her hair cut in the same door. I knew it. I remember all these things that don't fucking matter. But I don't even remember. I can't for the life of me remember when the last time I saw her was, or even what we talked about. Isn't that just literally babbled it? Yeah, I barely ever had a normal conversation with her. There were so many of us in the ship. I was small potatoes and she was Babel's chairman. It's probably a joke, some silly complaint or nagging. But it definitely wasn't a goodbye. This time I'll make it for that and say it, then I won't forget. Anyways, I've gotta get my marks checking over the equipment. This is gonna be one hell of a job, whatever you say. But if your legs give out on you and you need somebody to give you a good kick in the ass, you know who to call. You two are being so wholesome right now, it's fucking weird. Not used to that. Yeah. This anime has gone on long enough. We should be looking straight ahead. Also, W talking sense is new. Preparations are complete. The airship is ready to take flight. Yes. It will all be over soon. Come, walk with me one last time, Theresis. Farewell. The military command of Kazal has secretly constructed airship docks just like this one to support layers of several sectors throughout Londinium. This is the largest among them, and it was where the airship was born. They specifically made a new art for this rather than using the one they used on Kijerag. Or maybe this was first, I forgot. The ship is seen as a terrifying weapon for a herald of destruction in a flying fortress. But very few are aware of the original intent behind the airship's construction. It is to uncover a buried secret. and beyond that, it is to break free of an eternal shackle. Their brother and sister are walking in the great ship dock, down a long passageway where every sarcasm they pass stops and greets the two of them. When was the last time they had a nice walk like this together? Thinking about it, compared to the amount of time they have spent together, the days that have passed is nothing. But they were also long enough. There is this, I really don't hope you don't die. You're great. I suddenly remember that when Kazel was rebuilt into a nomadic city, we stood next to each other on the city walls, shoulder to shoulder, just like this. It was supposed to be a happy day, but then it rained. Some said it was a bad omen, but I still remember how the soul furnace flames looked all the better in the rain. Forgot, was it like 40 or 60 years since Kazdel rebuilding? It has been too long indeed. Kazdel to Kazdel, our goal lies right before us. There is but one last step in our plan. I think that's the second time Tyrus has said that word to her. First when she was about to leave Babel, which was kinda sad. The warriors who are once firmly believed in your path, the girl who is called the King of Sarkaz, they've all come before you now. Of course they came. I've always believed they would. Have you decided how you will confront them? I have never once been confused, but I had hoped this day would take longer to arrive. Now that it comes to this, I actually feel I underestimated those I should have had faith in. Theresis, I'm delighted. I'm delighted that even after we made this decision, they are willing to stand up against us. They are decisive and strong, and they are going up at an unimaginable pace. Perhaps they will make their way to maybe much stronger now than the woman I was. The one who couldn't accomplish anything. Okay, don't say that now. I'm looking forward to it. Then, time for me to leave. Too. Oh no, I have a feeling. How this will end. It's an all fucking setup. Teresa steps onto the airship's gangway while Theresis remains where he stands, quietly watching her. Teresa, this time we should bid each other a proper farewell. Yeah. For the love of God, Theresis, fucking hug your sister. Teresa reaches her hand out and smooths out the creases on Theresa's cloak. Goodbye. Goodbye. Oh, sorry, you were there. I could not help but notice that you spent 10 minutes to cash in Chan. This is what I think it is. Oh, I was making a thumbnail. I was not drawing. The silence lasts until the steel door closes, and its thick shadow shrouds the two of them. Please, Harper Griff, let's fucking save Tyresis. Let's not kill him. They say nothing more. Hopefully you didn't wait that long, because focus on the story. The pulsing of the myriad souls is ceaseless. Teresa lightly closes her eyes to bear with its surge. That's a bummer. I will tell you once I actually start drawing. How about that? The endless murmurs are like that tide. It exhausts, it drags those within it ever downward, and it suffocates. Perhaps within... Oh god. Perhaps within it once existed brief moments of happiness or the occasional delight, where there is simply too much pain. So much that pain permeates every word and sentence. O myriad of souls, even though I have almost completely exhausted myself, I still cannot see the other side of the river. Shattered hearts abound on these lands, and so even if I have only grief at my disposal, oh fuck. Even if my body was wrought of tears, be my oar and be my arc. What is oar? Is that a boat? No, it's not. Ah, rowing. Okay. Let tears carry tears, and let suffering lift up suffering. It is time that we set sail. No ghost? You need to come home now, please. Your materials are waiting. I was examining the bone whistle in his hand. He knows every pattern carved into it and every wear and tear on its surface. He remembers receiving this from his mother when he was still a small child. Its sounds was not nearly as sonorous and vivid as it is now. It is a Banshee's bone whistle. It is my first time seeing the real thing. Banshees are a rare sight among mercenaries to begin with, much less one with a bone whistle. That said, I've heard plenty of stories about bone whistle. It's a symbol of terror. It sounds foretells death's pursuit. The Banshees portend death, and willingly serve as the embodiment of death and danger. But I rarely ever saw you use the whistle, not at Babel of those years ago or at Rhode Island now. The vampire accused you of rejecting the power of your bloodline. It already sounded. It need not sound again. Your teacher from Babel. Okay. Metaphors about death itself are a dime a dozen, but what comes after death? True, the Banshee portend death, but nothing more. If death wasn't the end of all beings, there was more than nothingness after the toll of death knell. Toll of the death knell. This foretelling would have been meaningless. That's why we set down the bone whistle for bone pens. Bone whistles for bone pens. Oh! I thought this was your bone whistle this whole fucking time. New meaning is born from the pen's tips, while the past is only recorded by the same tips. This is why we stand together now, Holy Earth. That's right. Also, I slightly cannot believe Hodir is the one starting a conversation. I know he's a curious person, maybe that's why. Yes, towards the other side of death, Earth. No, that's not what Theris intends to accomplish. This war will not and cannot be allowed to develop into a raging fire that destroys the Sarkas, as history has seen countless times before. Having burned for so long, this hatred cannot be easily extinguished, but we can stop it from engulfing all souls upon these lands. That includes each and every race there is. Doctor made it. If about is able to begin. Is able to begin? About to begin. Fathom skeleton wriggles its body and once again dives straight into history. History. I know who the whale is, but also... Is that how your teleportation works? It's using time travel instead of space travel. The fragments of time are like bubbles in a muddled stream. After they break up, the remains are still vague and distinct. Amelia feels a rippling space-time... never mind. Rippling space-time rushing past her. You look at her and see her eyelashes twitching. What exactly does she see? Perhaps something more than reflections passing by or fleeting hallucinations. I like this theme. I think this is the reunion's theme. The distance between memories and history is always much longer than we expect. Or maybe this is Victoria. Countless scenarios, sceneries, both ancient and modern, sweep by under the Fahrenheit's frame. Those who find themselves within are astonished by the advancement or regression of times, the disaster that unfold before them, and the happiness in their hands. But when looking upon them for high above, perhaps these sights have never actually changed. And the illusion grows much stranger and more twisted. I see this, rapaciously absorbing nutrients. It writhes, whimpers, trying to tear away all fabricated representation. Rapaciously. Naruhodo. This creation, far beyond human comprehension, waits silently. The slightest movement is enough to rend the continent and allow the crystals to proliferate. We're talking about Originium now. This isn't a Phantom's power. How do you know that? The sky. The entire sky is burning red. Oh, I guess just instinct. The life one is out of control. It's been pulled off its original course. Are we under attack? Guardians to all cabins. Watch for attacking aircraft. What is a cabin inside? We're preparing anti-boarding measures. All non-combatants retreat to our shelters. Mark Spanner, don't let any drooling Morons onto the ship. And the damage reports. Checking, but what's going on? This makes no sense. The sensors I set up are all reading normal. The skeleton's not damaged at all. I just got a word from observation post. They have spotted no enemies. We're losing altitude, I can't control it. What the fuck is happening? Isn't this skeleton your best friend, Hodor? Get that to chill out. Hodor, can you adjust the course at all? We mustn't land in the center of the battlefield. Dying. Buckle up, everybody. I don't want anyone getting flung out of the gaps in the bones. I have sent out all my drones to try to pull the Phantom's bones back and reduce the impact of the crash. How much drones do you have, Closure? Do you know how fucking big this Phantom is? Don't get your hopes up there. Our descent isn't slowing. Going by the current speed. The meaning of language shall grant us wings. I command these words to lift this weight. It's working. Keep chanting incantations, Banshee. Hodor keeps steering us north. There's a valley there. We should fit right in. I'm on it, but my link with the farm is fading. I can't control it much longer. Monster. Excited howling. Protect the doctor. Prepare for impact. Wow, that's kind of it. Joyful howling. Calm down, Doctor. You'll be fine. I mean, how things are going over. Although wounded civilians have been relocated, Feist and Rock are working on getting the transport secured. Got it. Ines, my marks have anything to say? They're all here with me, working on getting some witchcraft going on. W, what kind of fucking mercs did you... They know witchcraft now? Need a little more time, we should be able to withstand half of the Impact's force. Tell Hoderer these bones won't shatter here. The light is in sight, our angle is not quite there yet. We need to turn left at 20 degrees. Last chance for adjustments. 30 degrees percent of it. All hands brace for impact. The rest comes down to luck. I heard your stupid bang line. With the countdown. It's the first fucking chapter of the... or... episode of chapter 14. I am out of water. Oh, this is nice. 30 minutes earlier. Underground structure, Highbury Borough, Londonium. Cats? Or dogs? You're back. How are things are... Oh, probably cat. It's Victoria. Same as ever. Maybe worse. I used to be scared of those devil mercenaries who ask you for a smoke. The worst you'll get is a slap on the face if they feel like it. But now it's all monsters you can't even describe that turn you into a puddle of blood without so much as blinking. You know what? I've been sleeping better, because I know there's nothing but death if I run into one of them. Ah yes. Peace in the thought of guaranteed death. Are the Sarkas still grabbing workers off the streets? Didn't see anything. They didn't dare go too far. Doesn't seem like the Sarkas are interested in running the city anymore. There's no one maintaining public order. They couldn't fully occupy Londinium, could they? What use is it to them? Are they really planning to drive Victorian capital all the way back to Castle? Who knows, honestly. I haven't had a clue what they're trying to do. Why go through so much trouble if they just want to kill everyone? Ah, hello, Mom. Or grandmother. How sad. Those who betray their friends for a better future are soon betrayed by their better future themselves. Not expecting things to turn out like this, you know. We didn't mean to. Let me guess, you mean us no harm, but heading us to the defense forces out of fear. How kind and gentle. You all deserve a medal. Catherine, we save it. I don't have time to dig up old grudges. Ah. Okay. I was slightly guessing if this was... Not that it would help anything anyway. At least you didn't gift wrap my head and face and give them to this Sarkas. The question is, what do we do now? Oh fuck. You can hide here, you know. We know the underground passengers better than the Sarkas passages. That's your plan, Tommy? Live underground for the rest of your life like a Talpy Beaks. That's new. Why don't you just go hide in a coffin then? I don't blame you for what you did. Given a choice, someone wants to go to war, but war is here now, right here in our homes. Just nowhere to run. I ran into a few fellows who said they could get us some decent weapons, I reckon. A thunder? Rain would be really nice right now. Well, the checking something I'm on the move. But the mobility level is... Something's not right. Let's set up and see what's happening. Be careful. What is it, Catherine? You're blocking the window. The massive silhouette of the shore is just visible from here. The most familiar sight and the pride of all who call Londinian home. But the annoying yet comforting blanket of cloud above are nowhere to be seen. Wait. Why is that on top of the shard? Take all our supplies and contact everyone we can. We need to move deeper underground now. Hurry. "15 minutes earlier. Silver Rock Bluffs. On the outskirts. I saw this a while ago. On the other game mode thingy. New design. Is what? Trial by fire dead? Pretty sure he's not dead yet. We're approaching Silver Rock Bluffs. That means the attacks will start soon. When I first heard Wellington's plan a few days ago, you know what my initial reaction was? He thought it was too ambitious for Grace. Ambitious, I think you meant Grace. Yes, crazy. He wants the entire Allied force committed in the front lines. 13 dreadnoughts. "45 assault ships and 172 gunboats. I have unfortunately accidentally fucking spoiled myself. Wellington is working with Nachazar King. Because they both love war. The other one is just an old fucking idiot, and the other one at least literally consumes the dead bodies from war. He wants the entire 172 gunboats, 86 transports, 10 support ships, all our artillery, and 180,000 infantry, including the entire reserves. It wasn't an inquiry or request, it was notice. Almost an order. The Duke of Wellington has also abandoned traditional Gaulish formation of multiple battle lines, instead having all fleets form single files to penetrate the Nachazar's line all at once. Gododin and our forces are to be responsible for the fire support, clearing out casters in the Sarkaz rear, while Wellington's vanguard charges at the center of the Nachazar's formation. The Silver Rock Bluffs, currently under Sarkaz control, is a key pass between the main mountains and the Dusk Glow River, in a highly defensible position. The enemy can easily retreat towards Londinium even if we win the battle. I would have staunchly opposed the plan if it was not Wellington who proposed it. But you and the rest of the High Commanders eventually consented to it. We've seen similar attacks in the military academies. They were the same tactics used in the legendary Battle of the War of the Four Nations in which Duke Wellington fought. The Victorian Lithanian alliance split the Gaulish lines into three and quashed their resistance. That battle put Victoria on a new course for the next several decades. Glorious it may be, the past is no place to find refuge in. They also think the Iron Duke has grown old. Wellington is a military genius. He commands battleship with the same ease, grace as a Lithanian virtuoso. I have never seen anyone quite like him. He's one of those fools blindly chasing the glory of the past. Sarkaz is not the end, but merely the beginning of the end of the real battle. As for here and now, it's not just Wellington who needs a decisive victory. The Sarkaz have the shard. They have successfully fired it before. They could attack us anywhere in Victoria at any moment. However, our war scholars deem any losses from Sarkaz catastrophe attacks to be within acceptable limits. Those losses will not compromise our ability to achieve our strategic objective. The Sarkaz have not refueled Londinium since it deviated from course. The city is immobile as of now. Once we take the pass at Silver Rock Bluffs, the Sarkaz will no longer have a terrain advantage, and the Allied fleets will have a clear path to Londinium. Indeed, if everything goes well. We will be able to end this meaningless stalemate as quickly as possible. And yet, the word stalemate isn't an apt description for the Sarkaz and Victoria. The telegrams from the caster hold are increasingly impatient. One cannot fault our backers for it. War is far too expensive. A promise fulfilled too late is a promise unfulfilled. Are those cannons of gas trail going off? The Duke of Another attack has begun, but it's not time yet. Your gaze, what's that red light coming from the distance? That light is coming from the top of the shore. Hail Wellington right now. We must... Uh-oh. Are you just gonna die like this, Duke of Caster? Please, I hope not. You're kinda not done yet. Doctor, are you okay? The doctor will be fine. Once I absorb the brunt of the impact. Thank you, monster. The good news is that we fell into a canyon. Our precise location is uncertain, but we are at least a distance from the worst of the fighting. Closure, Horn, Siege have gone out to scout our surroundings. You should be briefed on... Why is Closure out again? Oh wait, it's because of her drones, never mind. Not because of her physical prowess on scouting. We're still assessing our personnel and equipment losses. Preliminary reports indicate that pre-impact measures were effective and losses are acceptable. Medical engineering units are already at work. I'm afraid there's been some troubling development. Watch your step and keep up with us, Doctor. Boom! You know what's cool? This is in our loading screen, but a different version. It's just not Reddit skies. Actually, it's the background I use. See? Canyons of Reginium. Suffering sends its reach to every corner the eye can see. From the top of the shore, Originium spreads like a plague, devouring, assimilating. Why are we using Zerg terms? Buildings, ships, armies, Originium devours all and quickly expands. An unprecedented calamity indeed, one that puts even the most terrifying catastrophes to shame. And yet an army marches through the roiling Originium crystals, its tattered banner visible even from here. Suffering it's but a marching order for the Sarkas. The ever-hungry procession of Sarkas advances to the horns of failing, sinking their teeth, claws into any enemy they find. Blood-stained boulders litter the wasteland as far as the eye can see, looking decidedly out of place. The weeping winds have ceased, giving way to rising fog. The withered grass remains unstirred, yet countless tattered bandages are already dangled across. Waiting for the bottom of death and decay, the mass of war, their king. A withered figure emerges from the death-filled fog. Oh yeah, why did you get a design change? Why do you have hair now? I don't hate it, but also why? On the hills he stands. Through the swamps he passes. Out of the fog he glides. Through wind and sand rising from the withered grass. And upon the art's ritual circle he descends. Also, your cane is new now. The routed tribes of cloth fall to the blood-filled columns like bony hand caressing a tombstone. Only the most seasoned warriors recognize that messages. Tattered ribbons like the banners on Kaza's walls belong to the generations of ancient Sarkaz tribes. They form a flag, their symbols recognizable, but their scent of war unmistakable. Cool. Nazalam. Duke Rael. Legion's Crimson, Prince of Blood. We were never close, but the contribution that you and your blood made to the war is undeniable. I bear witness to your glory and shame. Slayer of Faronmund in the Mist, Jailer of Time. Usurper of the Royal Court, Executioner of Kings, yep. He killed his brother. You denied the path that we now walk, as you denied the meaning of the Black Crown. But you gave your first and final drop of blood to the Sarkaz. Did he actually die? I thought he just got yeeted in another plane. Your power shall not fade away, nor shall your anger, your hatred, your ambition. He spreads his arms wide. The black fog of decay rests swallowing every boulder. Red fades into sand and dirt, vanishing into the mist. The warrior do not speak, but the earth begins to rumble as ancient witchcraft spread across the battlefield. He's so cool. He's so fucking cool. War, we nourish you with our best. Their blood and bones at your behest. We are the living and the dead. Together we march as one. The black fog dissipates. A drop of blood forms at the tip of the Nazalam staff. It is the purest blood, the only blood that death and decay cannot touch. Hello, woman. This is the blood of Tikaz. It revoked the call of Amnanam, but was lost in the battle's arch circles. You can search 70 of them without finding it. But Nazalam, your highness, you have found it for the regent. The drop of red liquid drifts towards Salus and enters her wrist. Keep it safe, Confessarius. Of course. I vow to protect it with all the strength of my bloodline. My life. You are also interesting. You died and revived at one point. Even though you're not a lich. The vampiric art circles are still active. One of the sanguine arc of vampires, the purest bloodline, the cruelest of the sovereigns, the pride of the Sarkaz. Did she really die so easily? No, he didn't. Nope, he didn't. At the hands of the young banshee and the rabbit. I knew it! He has not joined the myriad of souls, but away has he drifted. What a shame to waste so much blood. Meddler of bloodlines, do not desecrate war death with your flippant insolence. Meddler of bloodlines. Oh god, I think I know what Confessarius are now. Apologies, Your Highness, I was merely lamenting the loss of Sanguine Arc. Then keep his legacy safe. His blood will continue the fight with us. Of that I have no doubt, Sovereign of the Withered Court. We're calling them Sovereign now instead of King of the Withered Court. It sounds fancier, but also... The blood of the Tikaz will fulfill its duty. Its mere tremble of Amnanam is enough. To burn the heaven red and bring upheaval to the earth. Is Amnanam the first king of Sarkaz? We have so many fucking king of... I need to read the Book of Terra. And its final essential free our fate from the manipulation of Originium, as the mid-elf souls have so longed for. God, if the Lich King was cool, it was you. War will crush all obstacles beneath its heel, even faith. Honestly, you're just Kel'Thuzad. Never mind. Yeah, you're right. You're just Kel'Thuzad. The Deadwood throne rises, attended by innumerable war altars casting a massive shadow on the battlefield. Silent columns of warriors step into the strange catastrophe, continuing their advance. We will advance before the storm. Both the living and the dead. God, that fucking line. It's to Warcraft. This war belongs to all Sarkaz. Hello, Manfred. A new beginning. Another code from one of the sovereigns, General. No. I was simply reminded of the furnace at the central of Kazo. Oh, the big one. I witnessed many feedings before I came to Londinium. It is an honor for a fallen warrior to be fed into it, becoming the fire that propels our progress. But it never seems to be sated. Small wonder, the flames of a revenant's rage only burn stronger. Nadine? Nadine, would you call the nomadic city by the name of Kazdel your home? What is the meaning behind it? I did not expect you to be... Okay. Expected this woman to be barbaric, but no, she's not. What is the meaning behind the question, sir? When the final battle has already begun. I was raised on the battlefields outside Kazdel, the black rocks and bones of my fellow Nashizer. Oh. Are the only things buried beneath the city walls and wheels. Where is home if not Kazdel? Yes, what other answer could there be? The future is lined with uncertainties, but this much we know. This war ends where a new beginning emerges. Have you made contact with Ursula? No. They were very thorough in mopping up Brentwood. Just as you predicted, our casters have picked up the trail of the Fairmouth Skeletons movement. I considered attacking Londinium, attacking the Shard directly. I gave them a chance, far too many chances. There is no question that Major Ursula has been negligent in her duty. You'd better have a good explanation if she lives to explain. Have you located the skeleton? We have a rough idea of its location, but it will take time to find on the vast battlefield. Should I take squad there personally? No, I will. We will retake the Fairmouth mine. Or destroy it. It must not fall into the wrong hands again. You're going yourself? Those mercenaries have interfered too much. They must be eliminated. Before that, though, we will finish the ritual. Our Nashizer ritual. I didn't think you cared much for tradition. Cyclops, Lich, Wendigo, Banshee, more and more have left. You've never seen these royal courts in Kazdel, have you, young Nashizer? I suppose not. Other than Nashizer, it has mostly been vampires. Not the best neighbors, but you start to miss their smell when you spend enough time in Londinium. The blood of the fallen has returned to the earth. There will be no new Prince of the Crimson Court. How many sovereigns do the Sarkas have left? Logistics to command. We've encountered a catastrophe near Safriar Castle. At least I think it's a catastrophe. We're being drowned in the tide of Originium. The ship has lost its power. Weapon systems severely damaged. All systems inoperative. Defense systems offline. No response from Arts unit. I repeat, all systems inoperative. Enemy spotted. Taking heavy fire. Mobile arts device. Data automatic record. Oh, hello. Good you're guy. Good you're fucking alive. None of these messages made out. The entire communication system is scrap. To think that so many have died to protect this little metal box. I salute you. Phew. That bow hurt. I shouldn't take my hat off. Bow. Wait, what the fuck do you mean? I hope... Okay. Our foe is unpredictable, aren't they? There's enough intel about the shard to fill an entire building. But you and I must take the blame for our present circumstances. The man then looks down at his counterpart. The man on the ground lies motionless, buried to his chest in crystal-filled dirt. But the little box that he clutches in his hand remains spotless. The trial by Asher pulls the rim of his fallen comrade's hat down. Covering the face that no one knew to begin with. It took a little more effort to retrieve the communicator, but the war has made him a rather proficient undertaker. Intel retrieved. Communications are still being jammed by severe interference. A little progress is better than nothing, I suppose. The Duke of... Oh. The Duke of 5 and the 6th Infantry Battalion were ambushed. The landing attempt on the Crumley blade has failed. Unable to reach the Duke of Golodin's scout fleet, Chalet has been lost. Large-scale unanticipated geological changes across the Silver Rock Bluffs front. Active orogenium concentration above the threshold. No good news. Are those troops? The etiquette is, my, what a miracle. I am a lucky man indeed. That's a cool looking sword. Wait a minute. Oh wait, that's a fucking... That's one of the Nachizera. Oh. Are you telling me you're dead? You can at least survive a fucking Emperor's Blade. You can survive this one, right? 3 hours later. No sign of the Sarkaz troops. The lifeboat is a big target and we would have been left in a bigger trail behind us as we fell. I'm afraid that they'll catch up to us sooner or later. Because can you confirm my position? I can only really get an approximate orientation with these maps I've got on hand. Yeah, but still no response. Ever since the skeleton crash, all our comms went down with it. My drones can't fly too far either. I've never seen this much interference before. Wait, I think a drone just found something. Over there. What's this? A voice recorder. Makes sense, I guess. On a battlefield like this is the next best way to relay intel. Short of just shouting. What? That's... Oh, fuck me, he died. Okay. That's a Duke of Caster's crest. Let me have a look. I'm short of time, so I'll make it brief. The Son of the Sword has arrived at Silver Rock Bluffs. But the sarcasm, their tricks are worse than we thought. Here are the front line. This is a different recorder. I hope. My advice is head to the battle from the southwest. Bring the sword. I have honored my vow, so the rest is up to you, Your Highness. Who did that? No change, no improvement. Can tell your new pal that it doesn't get better. As soon I'm going to break whatever bones it got left one by one. It's long dead, not like it can feel pain. Why not pick something more meaningful to vent about? The skeleton's voice was already ebbing. After the crash, it had stopped responding altogether. The nerve bundles are withering. We've tried everything we can think of. Lubricants, supplements, even some creature witchcraft I've never heard of before. However, I guess right now it's nothing more than a colossal unbreakable skeleton. It can't be dead, can it? Yes, it can. It's a fucking phantom when it doesn't die. I mean, it's already a dead phantom. You're telling me it can die again? Hey, Ines, pass me the mine over there. The one wedged between the bones. Glad you asked. Nearly step on it. Also, what kind of psychotic idea do you have this time? Well, just following your suggestions, I'm gonna go find a proper target to blow up. Isn't that old friend of yours supposed to be the skeleton's whisperer or something? Ah. I'm sure she's still got a unbroken rib or two. Or she should be able to talk, maybe. Well, she knows what's good for her. Ursula. She does know plenty of the Phantom's secrets, and it's clear she hasn't told us everything. But I have the feeling that she won't be able to help with this particular problem. Alright. That's exactly it. Ah, the all-knowing Calcit. Let me guess you've got even more bad news for us. Regular catastrophe have no effect on Phantomwoods, even if it happens to be one that has been dead for several centuries. The tunnels that it travel in can even drill through time. So how is it that a storm can seal them off? What's happened here is beyond the scope of a mere catastrophe. As we are falling at a vague feeling that the enormous ancient sentience remaining in this bones had gone somewhere I could not touch. Our connection with it has been severed. It might only be temporary, but if we take too long, we might lose control over it for good. Your deduction is correct. Upon inspection, Logos confirmed that the sarcasm witchcraft cast upon the skeleton is being disrupted by a massive source of energy. It seems the vampire's ritual was completed. The Confessarius, God, that guy is aiding Theristis, and has achieved what the sarcast could not for a millennia. Amnanam, an ancient wound that refuses to heal. The Canobula of suffering. Canobula. The fuck is that word? Canobula. The earliest abode, just dwelling. Oh, okay. The origin of suffering. Mind skipping the part we can actually understand? I don't have all the... It was the first curse, just as it was the first originium. Isn't that just a legend? You know, he made up kind of the storybooks that Torira loves to read. Hold up, will you understand? Never mind. The legends are a shadow of reality despite all the untruths and half-lives printed over them. Just say nothing of the fact that this is a Sarkas legend, a Tikas legend. Sounds to me like Theris is cooking up some real serious beast shitting over Victoria. I fear that this too is the reason he chose Zildenium as his base of operations. His heart's ability to influence catastrophes on the regime is already sufficient for it to become Amnanam's beacon. Somehow the Doctor made the shard in less than 1 year. Across all of Terra, as it is now, there is the one place that it can descend. Well, out with it then. How do we wreck that thing? At Terra's current level of technology, there's nothing we can do. The only good news is that it has not yet fully descended. Let me figure out something, Logos. The drop of blood that the vampire possesses, the one he calls the blood of Tikas, it is still fulfilling its duty. The reason why Amnanam is able to leap across millennia and descend once more is because of his prayer. The blood's master has fallen, but the connecting veins hold steady. If we are to prevent the re-emergence of Amnanam in this land, we must break the vampire's curse, quelling the hatred that resides in this drop of blood. I think I can give it a try. I was blinded in battle with the vampire, and its influence on me has not yet waned. By virtue of this, I am able to sense where the blood of the Tikas is. It is at the rear of the Natchez army. It will likely be protected in a Contreras altar and heavily guarded. The amount of time required to break through the entire Natchez defensive line would be too much. We could cross the Red Main Mountains bypassing most of the war zone. Taking that route carries a similar risk to storming the battlefield. Our observational reports indicate that the Red Main Mountains have been completely transformed by Amnanam's influence. They are now blanketed in active originium. I need not remind you of its extreme danger. But it might be possible. Shining has gone ahead to seek out Quisar Susad, and if things go well for her, she will be able to come to our aid. I suppose the doctor's decision. It's a plan that saves us the most time. Support, I suppose. If we keep delaying until the Amnanam, Dr. Kaza speaks of complete its descent and use by Terraces as a weapon, then we will have lost any chance we might have to turn the tide. Even if there are risks, we must forge ahead. I need your help, W. We need some hands to guard this pile of bones, right, buddy? Right. This skeleton is crucial to our next operations. Besides, Hoarder needs it too. There's no doubt the military commission has been watching us ever since we crashed. I don't need that. I don't get this. What do you mean Hoarder needs it too? The way I see it, it makes no sense to ban back something we fought so hard to steal in the first place. Give me a time frame. The time now is 1800. 3 days. The surrounding terrain has been completely transformed. You will need to pass through a wasteland filled with unknown dangers. Given also the fact that the battles will be inevitable, in our journey, I estimate at least 3 days to handle the blood of Tikas. An immobile skeleton makes for an extremely conspicuous objective. Guarding this site will not necessarily be easier than the raid you carried out on it. I propose that Ascalon stay behind and help protect the lifeboat. That my job is you randomly pop out. But my job is to stay by your side and keep you safe, Doctor. During the second Ark's attack, it was my error that led to your injury. A dangerous mistake I do not intend on repeating. The lifeboat is vital and Manfred is likely to order an assault. You understand him well. I agree. The Sark... Hold up. I guess the doctor has read the files on Ascalon already? I'm just gonna assume that. He shouldn't have fucking memory over Manfred and Ascalon's relationship. The circus will be ran on the commander personally overseeing the battle and making decisions. If you are able to stem Manfred's advance, then that might relieve pressure on the mercenaries. I would respect your decision. What about a gang of Jesus Victorians? Are they going with you? You will head to the front lines at Silver Rock Bluffs. After saying you want to lead just a couple of thousand men, some of whom are civilians, who barely held a weapon straight into the battle with Natchezar's army? You have your legends, Sarkaz, we have ours. We have the Sigh of Kings, the blade that can cleave, cast race in vain. Since the Sarkaz have controlled the storm, then it's time that the sword plays its part. You have been conducted by the Duke of Caster, an invitation to be precise. It is, as we surmise, since the Sarkaz started their strange doings. Witchcraft? The Victorians, or rather the Ducal Alliance, have been heavily hit. Caster, no, any Grand Duke ought to have figured out exactly the kind of circumstances Victoria has found herself in. We've all seen those altars spewing the red light, or any light for that matter. As it stands, Londinium and all the battlefields surrounding it have become a giant art circle. This is how the Sarkaz fight, not like Lithania, not like Ursus, not like any other nation's tactics that we are familiar with. The trial by Asher will have told Gaza that all the intelligence they have gathered so far is useless when it comes to Sarkaz tactics. The Sigh of Kings no longer will this piece of steel I hold in my hand be merely leverage to get Caster back to the negotiating table. It will turn the tide of war, bring true change to the battlefield. None of us knows when the next catastrophe will strike. I don't know what form caster's tone of the sword will take, but no matter if it's a square, room, or wheel, or an odd contraption on officer's back, I'll find it. If we can quiet these storms, then I dare say the battle will become somewhat more evenly matched. From Sophia Chasm to the front line of Silver Rock Bluffs, it will take you 2 days, even if you follow the road that Dukes have cleared from the westbound forest of what the fuck, Gibson Hand. Oh, it's the name of a place. The Duke of Castor would be more than happy to snatch away the Sigh of Kings if afforded the opportunity. It will allow her to lead the Dukes in this difficult war and move her one step closer to the throne. And she will not be the only one attempting to do so. I am aware. The Duke of Windermere has died in combat, and her troops have retreated from the battle. Any other Duke withdraws their forces, the scale of war will be tipped even more against us. The war will drag on, the Dingyam's restoration will be delayed, and more blood will be shed. For the Sarkas and Victorian alike, this is the battle that will determine our ultimate fate. As for us, we are the exemplars. Wherever miracle is needed the most is where we will be. Besides, if this sword really can calm storms as the legend says, I dare say it would help speed along your journey to Londinium after all this. Closure? Again, I was done with my preparations. To keep things short, your ever-reliable Chief Engineer Closure and her team have come up with 7 different plans to get around the comp's interference. This equipment of mine has also started analyzing the super catastrophe trends and impacts. But a Genium-triggered reaction always leave a trail, no matter how intense they are. Things like dust concentration, activity index, and there's a spread condition. Well, I'm sorry to say that all these metrics are pretty high, as expected, so we can tell what's going on to happen in the most dangerous regions. But we can deduce which part of the battlefield are safer, relatively. That is, of course, if we can go deeper into the heart of this battle and obtain more data. Measers agreed to be our bodyguard, but since you guys are already heading over to where there's most action going, I figured we might as well tag along. So, could we trouble the exemplars to look after us? Gladly, we're duty bound. Making sure that things don't get any worse in Rose Islands missions, right, Galset? Thank you, Closure. Doctor? Excuse me. Holy shit, this is actual choices. It probably doesn't matter, but we actually have choices. We need to keep our promise with Ace. We have to be with Amiya. Our path might be the most dangerous one of all. That'll keep you safe, Doctor, just like always. I need fear for the safety of each other and every operator, which makes you hesitant to choose. But the truth is that I need you to come with me. So we can go behind enemy lines together so we can deal with the ulcer problem. There is no changing what we will face during our final confrontation. Originium has shaped the history of the Sarkas just as it will shape the future of the Assault. Perhaps you still have misgivings about why Rhodes Islands must intervene in this war. I did not have the opportunity to explain in the past, and nor could I give you a precise answer. I have never doubted the dark clouds above the shard concealed some dreadful unknown. And when it has revealed itself, as it has now, I still find myself confronted by mixed emotions. I'm not the one to explore the subject of fate, especially not yours and mine. But now fate has reared its head and coming our way. Originium's effect are... That's your excuse? Originium's effects are far beyond any of our comprehension. Our, even yours, of course. Doctor may cry, I hope. No, I believe. I believe that you are still the one who can change everything. I've never had doubts. I never had any doubts either. Doctor, I think should get going now. I think you should get going now. Or we. Not gonna ask me for a 21 gun salute. Take care, double. Look, little buddy, I'm not like the sheep over there. I'm real hard to kill. Exemplars are ready. Glad to hear it, Siege. Remember everyone, time is of the essence. Every minute, every second on this battlefield, there will be people who are suffering because of Voditinium. Right. And then we plunge into the darkest depths of the fog. To Londinium. We'll bomb that tower and grab Terra's biggest bastard out of the rubble. Most of the disaster before us and any more yet to come. I know that Chen is here, but what does she do? Okay. I need to get water. Be right back. Okay, back to reading. "13 hours of zero mission. The further we go, the more dire the situation becomes. Freshly run canyons, diverted rivers. I suddenly feel so tired. Pathways that withstood the weight of great nomadic cities, now torn, distorted, warped beyond recognition. The map of the past are now no more than scrap paper. Every tale must be charted anew. There is no doubt that the blood of Chikas lies this way, though our bond yet hums. Kinda curious now. The closer we get to the heart of the battlefield, the higher rate that Originium integrates with all information. It's just such an all-consuming element. The rocks, the soil, the waters, the peoples. Originium's influence has its clutch around virtually everything on Terra, yet perhaps we have long forgotten the fundamental principle of how it works. What did you mean by information just now, Calcet? Yeah, she let that slip by. Perhaps you shall find out rather sooner, Doctor. Or maybe no, never mind. Objectively speaking, this Originium contaminated terrain does give a tactical advantage to terraces. Terraces' military operations, in contrast, the Victorian front is all but shattered. But this level of Originium activity still pales in comparison to the catastrophe strike earlier. Terraces will never use Originium so recklessly, just to gain slight tactical advantage. This much I know of. He knows the consequences. Excuse me, that was the sound of a vehicle? What? Halt! Word of power. Ah, well there we go, that's a normal vehicle. The truck shudders to a stop as several familiar faces hop off. W. Master Bench and the King of Sarkas. Shopkeep. Shopkeep. Minor. I told you we shouldn't have taken this road. We can't run away now. Driver. That's not like they're bad guys. Yeah. Weren't you supposed to say the lifeboat? Master Banshee, Your Highness, we were scared. Hold up. Since when did people actually calling her Your Highness now? Pretty sure the Sarkas in Rhodes Island don't call her Her Highness. Ever. We were scared, terrified having to stay inside that skeleton. Not knowing who or what might come running over the hills to attack us, so we ran. I fucking love her design, holy shit. I know that desertion is a crime, but we were never going to be any use, were we? So I beseech you, my lord, your highness, please don't execute us. I'll happily take the whip instead, however many lashings you wish. I'm not going to execute you, and I never demanded that you fight for me. If you want to go, then you may go. Alright, I'm merciful. Can we three go along? Say no more, Your Highness has already done us such incredible kindness by sparing our lives, and you would still demand more for it. Don't be a fool, shopkeep. How much of a chance do you think that the three of us that broken trucks got? We'd probably get blown up by a bomb, or worse. Your Highness, is just my humble request, but please get us off this battlefield. I'll give you everything I have as long as this to live. I'll swear my undying fealty to you. Wait. Ew, never mind. I fucking almost forgot about them. This is the trio that we kinda memed. Okay, I remember now. Where we said that Logos was royalty. Kinda is, but... Yeah, no. That's not the issue here. If you were to follow us, I'm sorry to say that it would be just as dangerous. What do you think we should do, Doctor? I can't imagine just survive the rest of their own. They might expose our whereabouts. It's not bad, we could commander. We could commandeer it. Doctor, do you really want to do that? I see. You're trying to live in the moon. Oh my. Was that too grim for you, Amaya? Sorry. Very well then, driver. We can travel together for a while. After we pass through the war zone, we should leave Victoria once and for all. We should. Thank you. My deepest gratitude, and please use our transport. It should carry us far enough. We came strike as your most... Oh my god. Coin. The coin I gave you. Ah, I completely forgot about that, huh? You need to drop it here for you, my lord. I was trying to beg it for you. It was my honor to serve, Banshee Lord. How could I have expected to pay for such a privilege? Oh, fuck. I think they're scared of you. I hope you don't think me a misère. I need to ensure that they are not monsters. You need not fear. I hold no malice against you. Locus moves his finger and the coin spawns vanishes. Only to reappear in the shopkeeper's hand. A heartbeat. The shopkeeper stares first at the hand, capable of quaking the earth and shaking mountains with a single punch-through. Then at the coin in his own hand, and finally back at the deadpan Banshee, unsure of how to react. At the left of your mouth, swings on sire. Well, better help the driver start the car. My. The 3 and... Okay, wow. God bless Arknights, I guess. Fuck. I saw Scout and Alcazar demonstrated several times, but I could never quite get the movements right. It is my lack of skill that made for a lackluster effect. Well, there's a fucking difference, Logos. You actually do magic. Doctor, there are times when I also forget the fact that many of our shared memories have disappeared into the other. Aww. Yeah. Logos is a funny man. Oh, the internet. My internet is being cool right now. Is it gonna stay like this? Nope, came back. If we ever find ourselves time to reminiscence after this deal, perhaps you will be pleasantly surprised by the anecdotes of your past. Logos, I wish you could come home. But for now we must go. I truly wish I could get you. There's no sound here. This stillness is strange. I can't hear the sound of our breathing or the vehicle's engine. I can't even hear my own heartbeat. It is some kind of original arts. Could someone have blocked all sound in the vicinity or conceal themselves? No, I may listen carefully. It is not the sound has forsaken this place. Instead, there is a great, tremendous roar, so great that it drowns out its lessers. It is the deafening cry of death itself. Look over there. A leaf. A leaf that hangs from the lowest branch's surface tinted with vibrant yet bizarre colors, like the work of haphazard artists or sunlight reflecting off a puddle of grease. Rainbow colored. Like the vestiges of some sort of art. It is rotting. Decay unhinges and small, gnawing at all in its sight, leaving behind only iridescent bite marks. Within a few seconds, the sprightly yet strange coloration spreads across the entire plant and even onto other bushes. The once succulent leaves becomes drips of foaming liquid, leaving behind only bare vein networks quivering in the wind. Just like a thin beast's skeleton after its flesh has been picked clean, unceremoniously discarded. This is a fish. The wind rises as if wanting to tear at their skin. It is the sigh of an unsatiated beast locust to the marsh. Silver incantations flow forth, plunging into the depths of the marsh. Did you manage to stop it? No. The muffled sound of water sloshing ripples from marsh, echoing about in the deathly silence. The sound of a foot pulling from the ooze, then stepping down again, steady, unseen churn the muddy water, slopping it to the shore. Prepare for battle. Stay where I can see you. Black arcs shoot into the marsh, but the burst of sound quickly dies down, as though swallowed up. The steps begin again, their rhythm unchanging, their resolve unyielding. A tattered helm floats above the surface of the water as ripples crash into ripples, becoming a chaotic jumble of lines and shapes. I like Nazale. Monster. Wait a minute. You were here this whole time? Fucking... Okay. Interesting that you didn't bother talking to the Sarkas. Dazzling beam of light spews forth a monster's mouth, but a shining lens is lost amidst the dark swamp. The slow sloshing changes. It's him! A series of hurried footsteps are up in the silence and all those... Wait a minute. That fucking design. Hold up. He's the... Wait, BV4 unit? And all lost sound returned more, a brilliant cacophony on ear-splitting din. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's supposed to be a... I was really hoping. Ah, yes. The Natchez army that has the fucking Moonlight Greatsword. Death has come for you all. Sit back, you, whatever you are. Got... Cage. A Sudaram. A burial shroud that will wrap around a corpse. His body is already rotting away. Conventional attacks will have no real effect. This is a form of witchcraft unique to the Natchez era, or perhaps possibly an ancient tradition. Natchez eras devour life to nourish their bodies, but all bodies have an end. Once at the cost of an end, the powerful Natchez will nourish weaker ones with their flesh, gaining unfathomable speed and strength in return. Alongside witchcraft, energy that no ordinary body could bear. In so doing, they become even more powerful creatures, while their nourishing allows the Natchez society to sustain and grow. Just as the fallen leaves nourish the land, and the land supports new lives, an eternal cycle. Flood. The muddy waters of swamp rise swiftly, like curtain, immersing the Natchez up to his torso. At the same time, incantations wend and weave their way around the group, holding back the rot's incessant bite. With their quick hoods into the forest. Don't step in the mud. With the swamp rising, or perhaps the mist sinking, the dark ground becomes a great gaping mouth, trying to engulf all. Gripsha goes through the mire, each breath growing more labored. A singular thought seizes the collective mind. Leaving is a tedious and futile effort compared to the peaceful, eternal slumber that awaits if they simply turn around and embrace death. Monster, protect the doctor. He's here. The only sound they can hear is the rustling of the corroded blade as it swings down. Echezer, the one who walks alongside death, has arrived before them. Man, imagine, and this is only one of them. All life withers before his arts. If we are caught in the ashes, well, about that. If you were caught in Ashizar's witchcraft, our life force will be sapped to become its nourishment. You know, that would actually be a nice thing if they had lifesteal, but they don't have that. Because I guess it's not a new mechanic, it's fast. But they come from the mud or drop from a tree. Either is possible. From life to death, from blossom to wither, they draw upon the entire life cycle, turning into the seeds that produce new Nachazers. I can feel the unending flow of witchcraft energy flooding towards us. And not just from the enemy before us, from the marsh, amidst the trees, it's everywhere. We have been wrapped in the Nachazer's shroud. By his hands, death hangs above our very heads. Only by tearing apart the barrier of witchcraft can we defeat him. Am I about to die? You Sarge, keep here, hold on to me so it... Oh. Come on now. Remember, hold my hand, whatever you do, don't fall. She's right unconscious, I can hold her up much longer. Ordinary healing takes won't help. Nachizar's witch sheriff is devouring us all. I don't want to hold you back. No. Let go of us. Now that it wasn't for us, you, Sir Banshee, could fight more easily. No. I promise that I would get you out of the battlefield we're in this together. That's the sound of blood. It pervades the air. This is driving the other's wounds. No, this blood is witchcraft. Oh. But then a vampire? The forest has Nachizers and vampires? A thin fog of blood floats all around them. This is entirely different from the Prince of Blood's arts they witnessed before. It is subtle, like delicate strands of silk nearly smothering by the all-encompassing mist of decay around them. But is this a still chance I disturb the stagnant air? Okay. I was just checking something real quick. Yeah, feel the flow of the wind. I would expose a weave of this shroud and locate its weakest point. Got it. Black Arts gathered before Almia's body, condensing to a spear. August raises his hand, pointing at the depths of the thick fog. Pierce. Herald of Death. You resist the spread of the rot, but to no avail. In the end, death will claim your corpse. I never once doubted that. Disperse. His iron blade falls, sticking to the soil like a gravestone. Get it! Get the Moonlight Greatsword! Get the Moonlight Greatsword! And Achezer's shroud flutters and billows. In an instant, his imposing figure disintegrates, leaving behind only several tattered strips of cloth, gently falling to the ground. Is he dead? I can finally breathe. Clack clack. It's the sound of a bone scraping against bone. Oh god. reanimation. A withered hand stretches out of the mud. It fell apart. Looks like it to me. You become such a badass driver. Shouldn't we keep going, Your Highness? Yes. It's best we leave at once before the necessity awakens and catches up to us again. Reawakens. Okay. I wasn't expecting vampiric arch circle here. It is still working. There was some vampiric arch that suddenly appeared as we were fighting the Siddhara. Is it because of this circle? I'm afraid it's not that simple. I'm sure you are well aware, Amaya, that those arts were cast by a vampire. Perhaps a descendant of a vampire? I assume that while the Sangan arc has been taken off the battlefield, the gifts he bestowed will not so easily fade away. Yeah, for some reason, they never gave us a vampire NPC, ever. Even though Nachizar has quote-unquote a lot of spies. It doesn't matter, I'll do my best to put these corrupted lives to rest as I've done before. Logos, could you please assist me? Yeah? The sound becomes ever clearer, coming from behind the blood-stained boulders. It's the sound of limbs dragging across the ground, a sound that they've heard countless times in previous battles. Amaya notices the expression on Logos' face. He looks not at the stone columns, but at Amaya, a trace of emotion flitting across his eyes. It is sorrow. Amaya recognizes it instantly. She has felt sorrow countless of times since the war began. Sometimes from an enemy, but mostly from her companions. Driver? Ah, fuck. Your Highness? When did it happen? Was it while we were fighting the Nachizar? Yes. When we left this skeleton, I brought along a rock that the military commission had ordered us to transport. I thought since it made us stronger before, it might come in handy in a battle. It really did help, right? I never dared to imagine that I could fight alongside you and defeat that strange enemy. You used a blood crystal left behind by a vampire. Did you pierce your body with it? No, that wouldn't have induced such a drastic change. You swallowed some fragments.